Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well on this fantastic Monday morning. If you're like me, you're not a big fan of Mondays, but I must say, doing this kind of work, weekends don't really have the same impact as they would if I was working a 9 to 5. But look, I have to at least pretend that I don't like Mondays to fit in with those around me who do indeed have to go to work or school Monday to Friday. But look, I feel for you, I truly do. Anyway, into the meat and potatoes. So if I say Moscow, Idaho, or Idaho 4, or mention the name Brian Koberger, Santa Canodal, Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, you will be taken very likely to an incredibly dark place. Remind you of what happened in that house, 1122 King Road. And we all have thoughts and feelings around what happened. It's caused arguments online, it's divided the room in situations. And look, it's very easy to get very, very passionate, very, very upset when things like this happen. People have different opinions. You know, there's people who want to crucify Brian Koberger before he's hit the court. There's people who feel that he should go through due process. There's upset families, there's upset friends, and there's people who get upset because they know others are upset. There's people who get upset when people talk about things in a manner that they don't think it should be talked about. But it's an emotional roller coaster for many, many people. But then something will happen that even if it's just for a split second, it kind of breaks through that darkness and shines a light on it. And what are we talking about? We're talking about the birth of Kaylee Goncalves' niece. So Idaho college killings, victim's sister names baby after her murdered sibling and best friend. I'll get this over here. So the baby niece of Idaho victim Kaylee Goncalves has been named after the murdered student and her best friend Madison Mogan. Theodora Maddie Kay Stevenson was born on Friday to Goncalves' older sister Olivia, who had asked both victims to be bridesmaids at her wedding. The family announced the birth and name on Facebook. Theodora Maddie Kay Stevenson arrived at 4:21 a.m., weighing 6 pounds 5 ounces and just 19 inches in length. The Goncalves family page posted, Olivia and Robbie are doing great. We are blessed. And look, I'm not going to go further into that because it again just descends into the chaos that we've all known to come to accept is the Idaho 4 situation. I don't want this video to be about that. I want this video to be about the fact that, look, despite all the darkness, despite the fact that this world that we live in does indeed have monsters and it does have atrocities that happen, we cannot lose sight of the fact that there are also miracles that happen every day. A child born into this world, we need to do more as a society, as a race, to try and make this a better place for them to grow up. And we're not doing a good job of it. We're not doing a good job of it. And even though I don't think that people have bad intentions, people are blindly walking in a direction that is making this world a worse place. Trying to silence people from calling people out. People trying to silence people from questioning why things happen and trying to push ways in which things can be stopped. People don't want it. We've got too used to things happening and just accepting that they've happened and then dealing with the aftermath. And that's not a world that I want my children to grow up in. I want my children to grow up feeling safe. I want my children to grow up thinking that they can go to sleep in their houses or if they're living with friends at night and be safe. that they can go online and be safe. They can walk the streets and be safe. And that isn't going to happen. It's not going to come along if we keep sticking our heads in the sand. There are monsters out there. There are people who genuinely choose to take the miracle that is their life and their time and do nothing but nasty, horrible, heinous, evil stuff with that time. Maybe it's because they want that to be their legacy. They don't want to be forgotten. They don't want to disappear and not leave anything behind. But even that, when we talk about these cases and we look at cases that the Bundy case and Dharma and BTK, how have they become the stars of the show? I said this before in another video. When we talk about these big cases, how many people can truly recognize and name all of the victims of these killers? But you can indeed name and recognize the killer themselves. This is part of the problem. This is part of what I'm talking about. We need to change as a society to stop giving these people, once these atrocities have happened, a stage to dance on. Yes, due process. Allow them due process and do it properly. But then once that is over, then drop the curtain and leave it dropped. Don't mention them. Don't have their names in the limelight. Don't have them on Netflix. Don't do documentaries on them. We don't care about putting it out there. If you want to study them, if you want to learn about them, get people to talk about them behind closed doors and then implement change based on what you learn. But don't make them stars. They're not stars. But anyway, let's take a moment to understand that a little child has been born, and one of the victims, Kaylee Goncalves, could have now been an auntie to that child. And things like this, these tragedies, have reverberations that last for many, many years. And that is a tragedy. Rest in peace, Madison Mogan, Kaylee Goncalves, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle. And I'll catch you all in the next one.